The world knows Keanu Reeves as one of the most humble and beloved stars in Hollywood, but what most people don't know is that his life wasn't built on fame, luck, or smooth success. It was built on loss, pain, and an almost unbelievable ability to keep going when everything kept falling apart. This is not just a success story, this is a survival story. Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut, and from the very beginning, life was unstable. His father left when he was just a child, and growing up without that foundation meant constant movement, never feeling settled, never truly feeling at home. By the time he was a teenager, he had already lived in multiple cities, struggling to find where he truly belonged. School wasn't easy either. He battled dyslexia, which made learning difficult and frustrating. He was often labeled as a problem student, not because he lacked intelligence, but because the system didn't understand him. Most people at that stage would start believing those labels and limit themselves, but Keanu didn't stop. He found something that gave him purpose: acting. It wasn't glamorous at first. There were no big roles or red carpets, just small gigs, endless auditions, and rejection after rejection. But he kept showing up, he kept trying, and slowly things started to change. He got roles in films like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and later achieved global fame with The Matrix. Finally, the world started to see him. But just as his career was rising, life hit him harder than ever. In 1999, his girlfriend Jennifer Syme gave birth to their child, but their daughter was stillborn, turning what should have been the happiest moment of his life into heartbreak. And it didn't stop there. Just a couple of years later, Jennifer herself tragically passed away in a car accident, two devastating losses, back to back. Most people would completely break after something like that. Many would never recover. But Keanu kept going, not because it was easy, and not because he wasn't hurting, but because he chose to. Around the same time, his best friend River Phoenix also passed away from a drug overdose. Another loss, another piece of his world gone. At this point, Keanu had fame, money, and recognition, but internally, he had experienced more pain than most people could imagine. And yet, if you look at him today, you don't see bitterness or arrogance, you see kindness. That's because instead of letting his pain turn into anger, he turned it into empathy. There are countless stories of Keanu quietly helping people, donating millions to charity without putting his name on it, giving up his seat on the subway, and treating everyone with respect, whether they are a co-star or a stranger. During The Matrix, he reportedly gave away a huge portion of his earnings to the crew, the people behind the scenes who rarely get recognition. Think about that. A man who lost so much still chose to give more. That is a different kind of strength. Even in his career, things weren't always smooth. There were phases where Hollywood stopped casting him in major roles, and people thought his peak was over. But once again, he didn't give up. Years later, he came back stronger than ever with the John Wick series, proving that it's never too late to rise again. That comeback was not just about action movies, it was a statement. A reminder that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you can still stand back up. Keanu Reeves didn't succeed because life was easy. He succeeded because he refused to quit, and that's where the real lesson is. Maybe you are not a Hollywood star. Maybe your struggles look different. Maybe you are dealing with failure, rejection, loss, or feeling stuck while everyone else seems to be moving ahead. But here is the truth. If someone who lost his child, his partner, and his best friend still kept moving forward, still stayed kind, and still rebuilt his life, then what is stopping you? Your situation might be hard, but it is not the end of your story. His life proves something powerful. You don't need a perfect life to build a meaningful one. You don't need everything to go right to become successful. And most importantly, you don't need to feel strong all the time. You just need to keep going. Even if it is slow, even if it hurts, even if nobody believes in you yet, because progress is not about speed, it is about consistency. And success is not about never falling, it is about always getting back up. So if you are watching this right now and feeling stuck, feeling lost, or feeling like it is not working for you, remember this story. Remember that even someone who had every reason to quit did not quit, and if he can do that, then you can take one more step. One more try, one more chance. Because your story is not over yet. And the version of you that succeeds is waiting on the other side of persistence. If you want more real stories like this, stories that remind you what is possible when you refuse to give up, make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay connected. Because sometimes, all it takes is one story to change the way you see your own life.